I am wearing the hat. Just so y'all know, when y'all get in here, slow mode's on. You can comment. Whoa, hey, Grand Madam. Goodness gracious, you scared me. I didn't even know you was up in here. How you doing, Miss Lady? Good to see you. Why did I make it with a little D? I don't know. My keyboard is squirrely. Okay, it is Thursday, and we are on the cusp of a 3 day weekend. Well, 4 day weekend for me, if I'm being perfectly technical. Um, because I will probably what is it? I'll probably take Friday. I think I wanna do something fun. Do that. So I'm gonna do something fun. Um, have me a tasty beverage. Got my discussion topics. We gonna have us a rousing discussion up in here. Cause I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I had a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. We might end up going a little longer than 45 minutes. So that might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. But yeah, I got my bullet. I had a pushy woman call me today and try to force me to because I'm looking for a placement in a group home for one of my guys. And she's like trying to force me to put my client in her home. And I'm like, first, I just handle the placement. I don't do the decision to do the placement. So you need to talk to that individual's legal guardian, which is she has like an actual guardian, not like a parent. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this. Work stuff, man. Just I gotta decompress. I gotta decompress, man, because and they talking, she was talking to me like I was an agency, but little did she know I'm my own agency. So she went and did some checking and ended up calling me like, ooh, and she was African too, and she had an African accent, and she was trying to smooth talk me into let me put my placement in her home, and I was just like, and then I looked her up on Facebook. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, if you on Facebook and you out there looking bad on Facebook, I would strongly suggest you get rid of whatever's making you look bad on Facebook, because even though people ain't friends with you, they might be friends with your friends and they can see your stuff on their friends page. Kinda, unless you just totally close yourself off, or even better, if you just decide to say, I ain't doing Facebook at all. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting there. It seemed like the only thing I ever do on Facebook is, well, nowadays, avoid arguments. Everybody wants to argue about something on Facebook. Everybody wants to fight about something on Facebook. Everybody got an opinion. Nah, 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 nah. Now ain't nobody get busted. It just um a lot of times people have an opinion. And though I have a strong sense of justice and am very outspoken on a lot of issues, I do not think every single issue or ill in our society stems from racism. Mr. Smith, how you doing? You are just on time. You are definitely one of the people I want to highlight. But like I was saying, Grand Madam, that's I try to avoid those conversations when I'm talking to somebody and everything. I mean, everything is because of racism. You know what I'm saying? You got to the Popeyes and the Popeyes is closed. That's racism. What? You go to the bathroom, a public bathroom, and the stalls occupied. That's racism. You know what I mean? I'm just like, come on, y'all. Every single thing in the world does not stem from racism. Like it's one white dude sitting underground in a chamber, just kind of, let me see what racism I can make today. Say word. I see. Yeah. Just so y'all know, you can post in the chat every 2 seconds. You don't gotta wait no super long time to post. Yeah, because I notice a lot of times y'all make a comment and then it just be this big pause. So you can go type in send it, then go 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and send another comment. And I could be tripping. It might just be the speed of y'all internet. It might just be the speed of my internet. But I just putting that out there just in case, because I think a couple of these topics I'm gonna talk on, it's gonna have y'all gonna be kind of firing off. So just so you know, every 2 seconds, every 2 seconds, every 2 seconds, you could put something in the chat. 2 seconds behind that comment, 2 seconds behind the next comment, so on and so forth. Just so people don't, you know, have me doing all the talking because it's supposed to be interactive, y'all, right? Interactive, meaning y'all interact with me. Oh, you love the shirt. Thank you, brother Ray. This is I actually got this from a company called Dianu. It's an American based company, but they specialize in African prints and African wear and all of that. How about this hat, Grand Madam? What do you, hey, just so you know, it's a Kango. I and not like I'm checking labels or anything like that, but I don't know, and you can ask Samuel L. Jackson if you ever get a chance to talk to him. They fit well. You know what I mean? When you get the right size, because I got one or two more. I got the ascot style, but they fit really well. Actually, this dates back to the 90s when T'Challa uh, made his re-debut in the Christopher Priest run. And during the Christopher Priest run, uh, T'Challa's colors were gold on black. So, the arm accents were black, the leg accents were black, and he had Panther's teeth around his neck. Well, not black, I'm sorry, gold. Gold on the legs and arms, and then the teeth were gold. But then when they made the Black Panther movie in 2018, Killmonger got that suit and kind of revamped it and made itself into the Golden Jaguar. So actually, in 616 continuity, T'Challa rocked the gold and black first. Edutainment is what I do. The hat that is. Yeah. Appreciate it. I picked up on what you were saying. Yeah, it's actually a summer hat, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's a really thin material. But I have worn it in the winter and just transitioning from one place to another real quick. It's like, ooh, that's breezy, especially up here. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't a correction, Grand Madam. It's a what I like to call a teaching moment. We all experience teaching moments. Teaching moments are a good thing. They help us become a more well-rounded us. Okay. Since I got all the intelligent, mature people in the room, I'm going to take a wild guess and say the other individual that's in the room is intelligent and mature too, and just chooses to kind of hang loose. All right. All right. Here's something that was on my mind. I was I was listening to, well, not listening to, but watching the Back of the Bus's latest video. And if y'all ain't been rocking with Back of the Bus on YouTube, they're kind of a hodgepodge of subjects. A lot of it is nerd based, but they also do things like social issues and sports and cultural issues and that kind of a thing. And they got to talking about Aquafina. And I don't know if y'all know who Aquafina is, but Aquafina is the little Asian lady who is Shang-Chi's sidekick in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. If y'all haven't seen that, go get your Disney and check it out. But prior to her being in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, she was also in that movie Crazy Rich Asians. And she also had a TV show on Comedy Central called Nora from Queens. Now, what she got popular doing was using what they call a black scent, a term I don't really care for, but basically what it boils down is to it's AAVA. Excuse me, AAVE, which is an acronym for African American Vernacular English, or more popularly known as Ebonics. So, little Asian lady has made her claim to fame with her Ebonics. I ain't gonna call it black scent no more because that ain't even a word to me. And to even use that word and say black scent is offensive because all black people don't have the same accent. Do I sound like Theo? Does Theo sound like me? Do we sound like E-Man? No. So what the hell's a black scent? See what I'm saying? The term in and of itself is racist. So back at the Buzz podcast, they are talking about, just basically kind of letting us know this little Asian woman's out of pocket because I think I did a video on it. I might talk about it in another video where this young lady had the unmitigated gall to say she would never say or do anything disrespectful or offensive to Asian culture. Oh, but she perfectly fine offending the Negroes. She perfectly fine offending, as my grandma used to say, good, decent colored folk. I'm not colored. I was born this way. Anyhow, yeah. That her words, Grand Madam, not mine. Hey, to what she's saying is she would never portray a character. And I'm not trying to offend nobody Asian, but that's basically what she getting at. She the stereotypical, the teeth and the eyes and the glasses, that she would never do anything like that her fellow Asians might find offensive, but she's perfectly fine using Ebonics. Okay. And then she got called out on it in an interview and froze up. We can have a conversation about it. Okay. And it's just like a comment I made was, and it's always us. They, and when I say they, I mean everybody else that ain't black. They love our culture. but they don't love us. They love our music. They love the way we dress. They love the way we talk. They love the way we act, but would rather not deal with us. It's our culture. Hip hop. Hip hop has been totally appropriated. And my question to kick it off is, do we recognize the difference between appreciation for our culture and appropriation of it? This right here, this is the dramatic pause. That was a dramatic pause. Okay, this is like album cover picture. You know, you know what I mean? Okay, Mr. Smith says he knows the difference and that he recognizes the difference. Mr. Smith, will you please share your amazing Jedi like wise opinion on the matter of appropriation and appreciation? Grand Madam said, we recognize the difference, but non blacks do not. Yeah, because we appreciate our culture. And other people sometimes think what they are doing is appreciating it when they're actually appropriating it. So it's all about money when you talk about appropriation. Yeah, I agree to an extent, Mr. Smith, because if there's not anything to be gained fiscally, there's no sense in appropriating it. Appropriating it. Wink, wink. But now here's the thing. I always use Eminem as the example. And Eminem, though white, and we went to the same high school, which he flunked out of, um, he he seems to have appreciation for the culture, and I think that is because he lived with and grew up around the culture. Yeah, that's exactly what I ain't even gonna call her Aquafina no more because I feel like her name is like a play on like some kind of hip hop title or name or something like that. Her name is Nora. Her mama named her Nora, so I'm gonna call her Nora. Nora is a perfect example of our culture being mocked. She mocks the hell out of the culture. When I seen her on Crazy Rich Asians and saw her talking, and I'm like, yeah, my first words in my mind, I said it out loud, was like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just I they don't even realize it's offensive. You know what I'm saying? And I think the example that Marcus on Back of the Bus gave was like, what if I showed up to the podcast rocking a full kimono? Asian people all over the country would snap. They lose their natural minds because they say that's appropriation. Graham Adams said, for a split second, I thought you were talking about candy. No, no. Oh, you got to get your chocolate fix. You be careful with getting your chocolate fix, Graham Adam, because you know diabetes is the enemy of black folk. So we got to be real careful about ingesting things that aren't, you know, real helpful for us. And I say that to say, you know, my mother right now is in the hospital. She's doing okay, but you know, she had a little blood pressure spike, and you know they had to bring the blood pressure down, and they gonna keep her for observation. But she got like a gang of soda and cakes and cinnamon rolls and pies and stuff, and it's just like, Ma, you Black human being. You do not need that much sugar in your home. So yeah, she'll be okay after a couple of days. We gonna put mama somewhere else because mama tripping. Thank you, brother Ray. Thank you. Um, so nah, to be honest, Grand Madam, I want the recovery to be slow because I need time to put a few things in place. Me and my brother's working on some stuff, and we gonna put her somewhere nicer where some people can keep an eye on her and she can't drink sodas all day and night. Live long enough to become the parent, right? Anyways, um, I've been putting it off. But now to link and segue into the next thing I want to discuss. Now we talking about appropriation of culture versus appreciation of culture. Okay. Now I was saying earlier, I was talking about how I was in an engagement with some people earlier today, and they wanted to make everything about racism. And now I'm sure I don't know if you guys have, but if you haven't, uh watch my video that I just did yesterday about the Olympic skater Kamila Valieva, who's being allowed to participate in the Olympics despite having a banned substance in her system. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson, a name I don't want to bring up, but I have to because of the circumstances, ran in the Olympic trials and got dinged. Now, I do not believe, and a lot of people been giving me flack about this. I've been catching wreck all over social media. I do not believe what happened to Sha'Carri Richardson was racially motivated. Okay? You smoked marijuana. You smoked weed. You fired up a blunt. And you knew you was an athlete that was going to get tested. It's the same thing like I ain't gonna say when I was in the military, I wanted to smoke weed, but if I went somewhere and there was weed around, I knew that they did random urine tests in the military. Everybody whose social security number got a zero in it, report the medical for a piss test. So you can't when you're in a situation where you know you're getting ready to get tested or something like that, you can't just willy-nilly go out and I'm gonna blaze this up real quick and I gotta be the muster in the morning. No, you can't do that. Grand Madam said, did they ever say what was in the girl's system? She had a drug in her system called trimethazine, Grand Madam, along with two other substances. I think one was lioxin or hyoxin or something like that. But trimethazine is a medicine that increases blood flow through the body and stamina to the heart. That's why it's banned in competition because it is a performance enhancer, unlike cannabis. Cannabis is not a performance enhancing drug. Trimethazine is, and taken in unison with the other two drugs that were found in her system, definitely performance enhancing. That's exactly what I said in my video, Grand Madam. That's straight up cheating. That's cheating. How is she still competing? Then on top of that, they did let her compete. She fell all over the damn place, slipping and falling all over the place. Obviously, it didn't enhance her performance because her ass finished fourth. So You gonna do poorly and have a whack drug in your system? I know that's right, Grand Madam. Karma like a mug. Super duper karma. I'm just like, but yeah, and that's my question is, do y'all feel like that Shikari's founded, valid in her complaint saying that that's racism? Because to me, I don't. To me, the two subjects aren't related. The two incidents aren't related. So how can you cry racism? Would you do? Does she think the people at the International Olympic Committee, after they tested this gal, they was like, well, let's let her in anyway, so we can piss that little black girl off who got kicked off the Olympic team? They did it to slight Shikari. Now, I have read, and there are a lot of Russians on the International Olympic Committee, and there are Russians on the International Anti-Doping Association Committee. So that's Russia playing dirty pool to keep they gal in the game. And then on top of that, they're withholding the medals. The outcome's been decided. Why are we withholding medals? Kick her off and let's just keep it pushing. It's a non-issue. I don't even know. I don't even know why we sit around talking about it. It's not an issue. It's cheating. Just like Grandma said. And I don't see how everybody else don't see. Because if I was participating in the Olympics and I got the news of that, I kept myself clean. I didn't smoke weed when I could have smoked weed. I do coke when I could have did coke. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not to say I would do it or coke. I'm just saying we could have been doing drugs that was fun and then went to the Olympics and competed, but this heifer shooting up and ain't nothing happening to her. Yeah. Hey Theo, you right on time, bro. The fact that they allowed the Russian girl to perform is suspect, but every athlete knows not to take drugs before performing. Obviously, Kamila Valieva and Shakari Richardson don't. What are you talking about, Ray? I don't think that Shikari can blame anyone else, but the conversation should be had as to why the Russian was a. That right there, Brother Ray, is the $64,000 question. How in the hell is she competing? I do not understand that for the life of me. How is she? What she her is her uncle on the committee? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do some more research into it and figure out how it's possible, but I really don't see how it's possible because it's especially the drug. You know what I'm saying? If it was something like cough syrup, and then I could see letting that slide, but not even letting that slide. But this is a drug that can definitely enhance that child's performance. And she got it in her system along with another drug that could potentially enhance her performance. But she drunk it off her grandpa's glass. That's the story she's sticking to. Grandpa Valieva had trimethazine in his drink. That was his heart medicine. Here, Kamila, drink this. Theo. Theo said, "We know what this is." Yes, we do, Theo. That's why when I say I'm for segregation with a sly smile, folks who normally wouldn't like someone who looks like me don't want to segregate. Yes, sir, Brother Ray. I do know the repercussions. But competitive sports are competitive sports, and rules are rules. That's what I boil it down to. Ain't got nothing to do with race, ain't got nothing to do with individuality, period. If I walk into uh uh Louisiana State University on a track scholarship and they tell me at LSU, bruh, you cannot do this drug, or you get kicked off the team. And I know that. My mama died. I cannot even begin to imagine what it feels like to have your mom's die. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what if somebody else's mama died? Does that give them the right to twist up a fat blunt and smoke it? No. That has nothing to do with race. Zero. Absolutely nothing. And she made the choice to do that. And so now to come back and cry foul about something somebody else did, and it's a whole different thing, is that it ain't race. It's cheating. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with being black or white or purple. Nothing. Theo said until they change, they always got different rules for us and they gonna apply them when we least expect it. But Theo, I don't think it's definitely a double standard, but I don't think it's a racist thing. Definitely double standard, definitely wrong, definitely cheating. I ain't arguing that, but I feel like Shikari's statements are fanning things into this that don't really need to be into it. You know what I'm saying? Because she messed up. You gonna cry racism? You messed up. That ain't got nothing to do with you being black or a little black girl. Nothing. You smoked weed and knew the rules. How's that racist? The fact that this child over here is being allowed to compete makes what happened to you racist? Or the people over here that are allowing her to compete are thinking about you, who got kicked out of the Olympics way back in when? What, May, June? Ain't nobody thinking about her. I'm pretty sure folks on the International Olympic Committee were not like, hey, let's let her compete. This is going to piss Shikari off. Grand Madam said, I've lived through segregation. It's not a nice thing, and don't be counting any years. LOL. Wow. Well, I will say this, Grand Madam, you look spectacular for your age. Theo said, if cheating is cheating, what is the issue? Two women. So either this is a USA thing or a people of color thing. It's either a IOC is against America or boom. What Grand Madam said, Theo, is a somebody got paid thing. Because who's in Russia? Come on now. And they the biggest thing going in crime right now. Make no mistake. And that's what I was saying earlier, Theo, before you came on. Everything I don't walk through life with blinders on when it comes to issues of racism and things like that. But at the same time, everything ain't about racism. It's not. A lot of it is, but everything ain't about racism. And it took me a real long time to wrap my brain around it and say there are actually white people and other non-people of color that actually don't hate you and ain't praying for your downfall and ain't looking for ways to undercut you or undermine you or appropriate your culture. I did, didn't I? Didn't I just? Oh! I see what you're saying. Forgiveness, forgive me. Yeah, my bad, my bad. I I will have someone in the house kick me later for overstepping my boundaries. Um, then it is an American thing. American, yeah, okay, okay. What should Americans do about that situation, Theo? Here we go. Now we getting into it. What should we Americans do about this little Russian child doping? And while you're at it, find out how many Americans are on the International Olympic Committee. So because that's the only organization that's going to be able to affect anything and say yay or nay. The Anti-Doping Association is the one that presents their findings to the International Olympic Committee, and the International Olympic Committee makes a choice based on those findings. So whoever done got their palms greased at the International Olympic Committee is who we need to find and tell them y'all effing up and y'all need to stop with letting this little child, who's doped up like a super soldier, and y'all just letting her compete. So you know, it's what Tony Stark say. Everything special about you came out of a bottle. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. um, I was hoping Diesel would make it because I got something that is right up his alley. Hey, y'all. What y'all know about that? What y'all know about that? What y'all know about that? I agree, Theo. I agree. They do need to fight on the behalf of fairness, but how do you launch that conversation? Because by the time that catches any traction, unless it's a bunch of people making a bunch of noise at the same time, by the time that gets any traction, the Olympics are going to be over. So, yeah, I'm just like, no, what needs to happen, and this is just my thought, there needs to be one governing body when it comes to that. Okay. The Anti Doping Association and the International Olympic Committee, they need to be one entity. The International Olympic Committee should have an anti doping branch, should have an anti doping unit. Okay. Because the American Anti Doping Association and the International Anti Doping Association are different entities. So the people who disqualified Sha'Carri Richardson from the Olympics are not the same people that allowed Valieva to continue to compete. So yeah, um, is what it is. Is what it is. Then the USA has it within themselves to grant Sha'Carri her own medal to balance out the fairness and or restrict Russia from competing in the next USA-based Olympics. Hmm. Uh, okay, Theo said the USA has it in with to grant Sha'Carri her own medal, her own Olympic medal. Yeah, you might want to qualify that. To balance out the fairness and or restrict Russia from competing in the next USA. Okay, I I think Shikari's issue is it not having a medal. I think her issue is it not being fair. And if she got booted for having an illegal substance, then Valieva should get booted for having an illegal substance also. Theo, I agree 100%. I know dirty criminals that in high places are very hard to dislodge. I know that. So that's, as Blade would say, that's Muggs trying to ice skate uphill. Grand Madam said the USA needs to do something to make herself look good, because since Trump got in office, the world looks at us like we're a country full of fools. Well, I have a few international friends that I talk to on a pretty consistent basis. I got a buddy of mine over in Singapore, and then I've got quite a few people that I correspond with in Australia. And from those two places, everybody has a WTF is going on in the United States kind of a viewpoint at us. There are some people that are like, yeah, we look like fools, but for the most part, they just like we are in this country. Why are they doing that? What possessed them to do that or say that? Kind of a thing. Say, restrict Russia from competing in the next American-based Olympics. We either stand for righteousness or we are complicit in any wrongdoing. If that's the only course of action we have is to ban Russia from competition, so be it. If that makes them straighten up and fly right, yeah, I'm 100%. I'm on board with that, Theo. I'm totally on board with that. But can we slide off into this Super Bowl halftime show and talk about that for a hot second, because I got a few things I need to say about that, and I want to play devil's advocate because I want to feel the room. T-Rex. Anyway. So did y'all dig the Super Bowl halftime show? Was that a historic moment, as everybody has said? Oh, by the way, I was showing this because I'm thinking about giving it away. Any Power Girl fans in the building? And if you are a lady, don't be offended by her cleavage. It's been that way for decades. Mr. Smith didn't watch it, and Grand Madam said it was okay. All right, okay. Oh, AZ Go. Well, wow, AZ Go. Hi, how you doing? Didn't know you was here. Said it was okay. That's two it was okays and didn't watch it. I found it nostalgic. Yeah, see, Theo, man, we got the same brain, bro. Theo said, I enjoyed just from a reflective standpoint on music and artists we've been bam, we've been listening to since, and that's what it was. I looked and I was like, wow, it's time for my next colonoscopy. all them old cats on the stage. You're a fan of Power Girl because of your late friend. I will be reaching out. I was gonna have some kind of competition for it, but you seem to be the only one interested. So Bruh. Dr. Dre in the World Class Wrecking Crew was a whole different animal. Way different. Shiny tight suits with shiny lip gloss on and jerry curls. Yeah, that was, yeah. Mm, mm. Yes, Andre Young has come a long way since the late 80s. Um, that's insane. Now, here's the bigger question that I want to present. Now, let's talk about racism and appropriation. It is no military secret that the NFL is one of the most racist organizations on the planet. I hear you. I hear you, Theo, but uh then we would really been showing our age. Probably half the people in that audience don't even remember all the songs on What's the 411. But my life, that was probably arguably I would say that is probably her best album. NFL is racist, but lo and behold, who do they have at their halftime show? A bunch of hip hop artists. And that's why the next day you was hearing all of these conservatives talk about that was the worst halftime show I ever seen. I turned that off. Okay, cool. From a standpoint of someone who was in that era listening to that music when it was hot, that halftime show, just like everybody else said, it's all right. It's all right. It was nice to see us. You know what I mean? Other than that, they didn't take it to the next level, in my opinion. That to me, they could have did more, but they did it. Like, I understand they got a certain amount of time to perform and do stuff, but the little snippets and bits and things like that, where you just, you throw a little bit of this and you throw a little bit of that and you do a little bit of this and you do a little bit of that, but we never really get the full perceive of what those artists and their impact meant to hip hop. It was just kind of a yay, we get to see that person, or yay, we get kind of like in a Marvel movie when you want to see somebody you want to see and you don't get to see them, and it's like Ice Cube should have been there. You can't have that group of people doing a halftime show and not have Ice Cube there. That was the biggest for me. Theo said more than enough artists who use the N and B word as frequently as they breathe. Okay. And that's what I'm getting at. I keep getting sidetracked, but that's what I'm getting at right there. Knowing how the NFL is as an artist, a successful artist, why would you allow yourself to be bought? Because at the end of the day, you could say you're doing it for the culture, but if you want to do it for the culture, and if you want to do it for the money, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and 50 Cent all need to go on tour. Okay? Snoop, you just bought Death Row Records. Dre, 50, you killing it over at Stars. You telling me they ain't got money? Kendrick Lamar, hottest young artist out today, arguably. Eminem, you telling me if they go on tour, they ain't gonna make no money. Yes, Theo, I noticed that Eminem took a knee. I also know that Eminem knew ahead of time that he was going to take a knee. So it wasn't a surprise symbolic kind of thing. He planned on doing it. But is that how we show our solidarity for the players and and let the NFL know what they're doing, treating, grown men like cattle, like slaves for the enjoyment of a demographic that don't even appreciate those people if they seen them on the streets? So your wife mentioned something. Yeah, that's yeah. Why wouldn't you have Cube there? Why wouldn't you have Cube there? You say spousal support. Man, Dre is worth billions with a B. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You giving that prop and that shine to the NFL is, I don't know. I feel like something got lost in translation. Grand Madam, you say who was the halftime for in the first place? The fans? The fans of those artists? I don't know. People who wanted to see it. Who asked to see it, I guess is the better question. Who somebody had to come to the NFL and present that and say, "Hey, who's doing the halftime show? Check it out. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige." Somebody had to present that to the NFL, and the NFL had to go, "Yes, that's a great idea." Or the NFL went, this is a great opportunity to put some more talent on display for our dollars. I mean, getting paid is what you're supposed to do, but I mean, where's your integrity? It's just my thought. I mean, and if you was gonna put on for what they got over big time. Yeah, yeah, they didn't. They were the ones the next morning all over social media bitching and complaining about, oh, all these black artists on stage, but only the white guy takes a knee, that kind of stuff. And oh, that was just they're talking about police and hurting the police, and but we're allowing them to perform on the greatest stage of shut up. Yeah, yeah, Grand Madam, they didn't look pleased at all. Theo said, I ain't gonna lie. I don't normally watch the halftime show and had to remind myself this time. Well, the going statement is, and for me, I ain't gonna lie, the last halftime show I watched and said, damn, that was a good halftime show. Prince. That's the last halftime show I watched that I really was like, that was fire. That was a halftime show. That was dope. I ain't seen no halftime show that just blew me away, you know? Because a lot of times I'm just like you, Theo. I see it and be like, Katy Perry, J Lo, I'm good. The only reason I watched it, I'm like, that's my era, that's my people. That's some folks I rocked with when, Mm, 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 already. I'm just saying. I'm just saying though. Okay, so we all agree. Well, Grand Madam, who could top Prince? There are a lot of the here we go. far as halftime shows, Prince, Michael Jackson, and for me, even even though there was the wardrobe malfunction, Janet Jackson. Those three are the most memorable for me. But yeah, Grand Madam ain't nobody, and I'm Prince heavy anyway. So ain't no in my mind, it gets no better than Prince, and everybody else is chasing Prince's show. You know, Weekend. What was that foolishness? I don't even. These people don't know how to do halftime shows no more. Yeah. Okay. All right. My last topic is fun, y'all. And I did a video on this too earlier in the week. And if you did not watch it, you can go back and watch it. The video is entitled "Who Has the Best Senses?" And it's a little segment I'm doing now, which is it's a versus, but it's more of a contrast and comparison type of thing, where I talked about who has the better senses between Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Wolverine. Edutainment is what I do, and a lot of stuff I do is comic based. So we got to have something comic based to close this out, right? Who's got the better senses? And what do we know? What do we know? What do we know about these three guys? Well, in the video, I had compiled this list of feats that all of these guys have done sense wise. So here we go. Grand Madam, you say Daredevil. All right. So for the lady, I'm going to read some examples of amazing stuff that Daredevil has done or can do. Okay. Daredevil smelled a sniper from 2 blocks away just from the gunpowder. Now, this one here I think is really cool. He can sense changes in the atmosphere that allow him to sense teleporters. That's pretty damn sensitive. And then we all know he can read ink just by running his fingers across the paper. He can look past, shut out, and identify specific sounds in a crowd. He can sense electromagnetic impulses. And he can tell if something is different based on the molecules. That's like what? Parts per billion? That's pretty damn good. Okay. Now, I find that Daredevil's superiority is in extraordinary senses. But what about super magnified senses to here? This is Wolverine. Uses his other senses, touch, taste, smell, and hearing, to fight battlefield effectively while blindfolded. That's impressive. His senses pinpoint Xavier's location through multiple rooms and floors of the X Mansion while in the danger room under attack in a training exercise. That's pretty darn good. So have we found anything that tops Daredevil yet? Oh, He can smell pursuers, their number, and if they are scared from 3 blocks away. I can smell how many people are after me. That means from 3 blocks away, I can smell you, I can smell you, I can smell you, and you, and you, and you, and you are scared. That's damn good sense of smell. Oh, proves that he has a better sense of smell than Daredevil when he's able to tell that Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man are fakes. The two had their bodies inhabited by doppelgangers, so any change in their scent would have had to have been something below the surface, but he was still able to tell the difference. Okay. You still say Daredevil. Theo and Brother Ray ain't said nothing. Okay. Well then, here. Let's go with Spider-Man. I know what y'all saying, right? Oh, Spider-Man just got that spider sense. But check out what he but check out what he can do with his spider sense. He once webbed up a gun and stopped the bullet after the trigger was pulled, but before the bullet left the barrel. That's pretty damn impressive. Can use his spider sense like a radar sense and was able to catch 2 invisible people in his webbing. His spider sense can be used to win at gambling. That if I was a gambler, that one alone would win it for me. He dodged light blasts while blinded. His spider sense keeps him up to date on everything that is occurring around him, even when he is sleeping. I don't know, Daredevil fans. He can use his spider sense to run through all possible battle scenarios and tell him which ones are good. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. For overall senses, it's got to be Daredevil. Okay. He's even got a radar sense. So, and that practically makes him better than people who can see. But in a fight, and we talking about comic book characters, I'd rather be Spider-Man. and I ain't no huge Spider-Man fan. I'm just saying, based on the criteria, yeah, that's cool that you can read ink, and yeah, that's cool that you can do all of those wonderful things and smell and but in a fight, like I said, I'd rather be Spider-Man. Just yeah, Tony Stark enhanced Spider-Man's suit, but enhancing Spider-Man's suit don't have nothing to do with his senses. He's still the same old spider sensey spider guy, you know. I don't know. Spider-Man stuff is more precognitive than super duper enhanced sense. So, and I'd rather be, I'd rather have precognition than super enhanced senses, because if I know what's going to go on before it happens, just and he's the only one of the 3 whose ability is not actually sense based. It's not based on any of the 5 senses. It's not an enhanced 5th sense or sixth sense, excuse me. It's a different sense of its own. So that's just me. That's just me. That's how I feel about that. Is but but I could see. I mean, when we talk about sense, you can't talk about senses and not mention somebody like Daredevil in the conversation. Okay, he said, in a fight is different. He has the proportionate strength of a spider and can stick to walls. Okay. Um, Daredevil is arguably what? Top five in in hand-to-hand combat out of all of Marvel. So I don't know. I the proportionate strength of a spider and sticking to walls. Yeah, agile's cool, but Daredevil's nice with his hands. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Daredevil's went hand to hand with Spider-Man and Wolverine and held his own pretty good for a guy who don't got nothing going for him except heightened senses and a lot of hand skills. Grand Madam say, take it from me, precognition can disappoint. Well, I know the precognition you talking about, but if I got precognition like that keeps me alive, I'd be apt to trust it. I mean, I get it. Even your senses can disappoint you sometimes. Our five senses, enhanced or otherwise, can are fallible. Wolverine has been confounded. Daredevil has had his senses overloaded. Spider-Man's spider sense has been tricked. But if out of the three, I'm just saying, and we talking about, and even in a practical sense, he could go to Las Vegas and clean up. He don't have to be poor Peter Parker. See, see, I wouldn't be poor living in no one bedroom apartment if I was Spider-Man. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Um, that. But Brother Smith, I will be getting at you about this here since nobody else was interested. Um, and yes, we have slipped past the hour. Just wow, we spent a lot of time talking about Valieva and Richardson. Wow, but that's good though. This was a good dialogue. This was a good vibe. This was good energy. It's always good energy. Theo said, my nose tells me liver tastes good, but my tongue says otherwise. Yeah. And when I got a plate full of liver and my spider sense starts tingling, I ain't even gotta touch or smell it. Well, no, I know Blue Falcon like what you was talking about, Grand Madam. No. Like I said, I had a Captain Africa who looks very much like a member of G Force, which could have been a Falcon, but I don't know. Blue Falcon, the only Falcon I know of that is black is the Falcon. I don't know. Would y'all like me to research that for you, Grand Madam? Because I would be happy to do that. Well, I wouldn't say happy, but I would do that for you if to kind of you didn't find nothing on World of Black Heroes. Please, manners. I like that. It's awesome. Okay, y'all. It has been Blue Marvel. Well, yeah, Blue Marvel. Oh, we know who Blue Marvel is all day, every day. That's Adam Brashear. See, Grand Madam, I told you. See what Theo put? I remember Blue Falcon with Scooby Doo. Blue Falcon and Dog Wonder, Dynamite away. That's what I think about when you say Blue Falcon. Now, if you say Blue Marvel, yeah, I already know who Blue Marvel is. I can tell you, I can sit here right now and tell y'all about Blue Marvel if you want to know about Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel's government name is Adam Brashear. Not Blue Marvel, not the goofy one. Are we talking about the black guy who wore a full body costume in the 1950s and then he got it and everybody was like, oh, that's my hero. But then he got into a fight and his mask got ripped and people saw he was black and they was like, we don't want that darky defending our streets no more. You talk about that character, Grand Madam? I'll wait for your response. Nope, not him. Okay, well then I'm gonna have to do some research. Okay, Blue Falcon, serious Blue Falcon. Okay, all right. Look here, y'all. It has been an hour and 11 minutes, and we are into overtime. So I am gonna call it a wrap right here. Look here, Grand Madam, Theo, Ray. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me while we do what we do. And I will be looking for y'all on y'all respective pages, as I trust y'all will continue to do so with me here on this one. Love and respect. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. I am going to get up now. I take a long time to say bye, don't I? Because I enjoy this. Look here. That's my time, y'all. I'm out. Y'all be good. Be good to each other.